G'day mates, welcome back. So, I'm back from a week's holiday in Cyprus. We came back Friday. I think we got home about 11 PM, something like that. I wasn't going to film this build, just to let you know what I've started anyway. I started this. I wasn't going to film it because it's a huge Andy's 1/16 Tiger 1. It's a huge build. Those of you that have followed me know that I've got behind me, I've got the Hobby Boss 1/16 Tiger that I made so many mistakes on. I've got the Dustwerk 1/16 Stug that I started, got all the lower hole done, all the wheels done, started doing the lower hole Zimmer and got fed up with that as well, put that to one side. So I wasn't going to film this, but I've decided to anyway because I started it before I went on holiday, and it's going to take so long that I'm now looking at my stash thinking what I'm going to start. What I'm going to start to have as a little side project while I do this, because you know I'm going to get fed up with it along the way somewhere. Anyway, let's have a look at what I've done already, which is a little bit to the low hole really. So this is what I've done so far. I've done a bit of it before I went away on holiday, in about probably the week up till we went away on holiday. I was doing little bits and pieces, and yesterday I managed to do a little bit more, about an hour's work on it. So I've put it on the wide angle lens thing on my phone because I couldn't fit the whole thing in without sitting on the opposite side of the room. So what I've done is, there you can see, the swing arms are on, movable. I've not glued them in yet. I don't know if I will. All the torsion bar suspension's done. They're done. There you can see the battle damage to the weld seam there. That was like that when I got it out of the box, unfortunately. So that doesn't sit flat. I couldn't get that to sit flat for love nor money. So I might have to just fill that. There's the suspension arms on that one. What happens is, behind this swing arm there's a little recess, and it's got a hole in it, and on the back of the swing arm is a little pin which fits into the hole. So my advice would be when you seat the pin in the hole, not to push the swing arms too far, because it will snap the pin like it did on this one. So I'm gonna have to glue that. That's the only one that snaps anyway, so I can glue that in place. That's no problem at all. So just to run you through what you've got: the swing arm, you've got a front, a back, and you've got this wheel mount. So 3 pieces for each swing arm. Times that by 8 along there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24 pieces for that. Same on the other side. A front, a back, and a wheel mount. 24 pieces for that. Inside you've got 16 torsion bars, and on each side you've got 8 of those to stick on, and you've got 8 of those to stick on. Cut out, clean up and glue. 16 pieces per side, 32 plus the 16 torsion bars. You can see the part count is adding up. Well, it has added up considerably, and all I've done is that little bit. No real problems on any of this. The front bit, if I remember, has 3 sprue attachments that you have to cut off and clean up, and the back bit 2, I believe, or it might be the back bit's got 3 and the front's 2. Can't remember because I'm old. One of them I know is on that little round plate there that you have to clean off, otherwise it won't go flush. Other than that, you can see what I've done. And if I swap the lower hole for the destructions, you can see what number we're up to. So I've done step 3. Woohoo! I am motoring, boys and girls. So I've done all that. Swing arms are done. They're put on. Just got to attach those. Those front pieces are on. Got to do them. And then after that, it's wheel time. And I will do that in wheel time. See what I did there? So that's basically it. That's all I've done. It takes time, there's plenty to cut off. There's the swing arms, when I said you've got a front and a back, or back and a front. And your torsion bar has got a small little nib that will only fit into the back of that, and the other side's got a bigger squarer one which will only fit in the opposite side, so you can't really put it in wrong. So small bit to the swing arm, big bit to the opposite side. Easy peasy, mate. So we are motoring along, I would say. I've also, if I can just bring that back in, I've also bought some upgrade parts from AHHQ Modeler, which is that set. You've got the new jack block, the Bosch headlights with the mounts, the tow cable ends, which are 20 times better than the ones you get with the kit, fire extinguisher, and the toolbox with its own little shelf, and that is amazing. The detail on that, as you see it on there, is what it is on the actual piece, with the padlock going sideways like that. And you also get hollow a replacement MG barrel with the vented piece there, and that's it. So that's an upgrade bit I've got. So let's do some business. So these are the parts, the final parts for step 3 to go on. I've cut them off, you don't want to see any people cutting them off. These nice looking bolts. Hey! Yes, just call me Mr. Butterfingers. What I was saying was, nice detail on that. So we just got to clean them up and we'll be ready to rock. A little bit of sprue business there to cut off. Scrape, scrape, scrape. I'm done. Remember, boys and girls, these knives are sharp. And a few months ago I went right into my thumb, and it did really made my eyes water, I can tell you that. So just be careful. Give that a little bit of a light sand just to flatten it down. I've had this sanding stick for years now, as you can probably tell, but it's still doing its job. There you go, it's even got a little bit of marking numbers on there, if you can see that. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Clean up these smaller pieces. Job's a good one. So these little bits go onto those two pins there. It's got holes in the back, obviously, and if you've got it upside down like I have, the flat end there goes towards the swing arm. Just get a bit of glue on it. And let's try and get it on. Because I don't have the most delicate of hands, that's for sure. See, I've just knocked that because I haven't glued it, it's come out of the pinhole. Right, so that's on. I'll get some of this plastic magic and just dab that around the edges just to make sure it stays on. And it evaporates so quickly you barely have time to see it. A little bit around that way, a little bit across the top, and there. I don't think that's going anywhere. So while we're here, up this end, this goes in there like that. just like that. So we'll have a bit of cement on it. And it goes a little something like this. Hear it? That should be enough to just hold it there, and then I'll get the old plastic magic again and just do a bit of smearing around there. Just to, it's super thin and it just flows around everywhere. There you go. That's on that side. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to get the other ones done off camera, because ain't no one got time for that shit. And we'll see you on the flip side. Right, so we're now going to do the bit that covers that. If you notice, it's got a wide channel at the top and tapering down at the bottom. So if I show you the actual piece, which is there, you can see tapered end, wide end up there, wide end, so it can only go on one way. It's pretty simple. Let's get some glue. Okay, let's not get some glue. Yep, we have glue, I believe. And these will be behind. The sprocket is in two parts, a rear part and a front part. How cool is that? So, like I said, this can only go on one way. So we've got the tapered end to the bottom, the fat end to the top. It goes in there, goes in there. Magnifique. So that'll be behind the rear of the sprocket. And this is actually size of this thing. Look, that's the sprocket, the rear of the sprocket. So it fits over this little hub like that. Sprocket, 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 turn, turn, turn. And then what you have to secure it in place is these little fellas, these little pins. Now I've done a dummy run, and on the dummy run that pushed in and held it as tight as a tight thing. So hopefully it does the same. Oh, that's satisfying. That's in. And there's your sprocket, the rear of the sprocket. You can see it's got a little tab there. Oh, that's come out. Oh, that's it. That's in. Yep, that's in. So make sure that's fully pushed in. Obviously, if you don't want bother with a turning sprocket, just glue it in. But you can see there's that little tab at the top there. I've taken the liberty of cutting off the outer part of the sprocket, which is this beastie boy here, and cunningly that has a little pin which will correspond with the top of that into that tab, and there you go, that's your sprocket. But we're not called for that on step 4, believe it or not. We're on step 4 now. Wow, we are flying. So I'll get the other side on because it's exactly the same, and we'll come back. So we're ready to put the idler wheels together. We've got them all cut off here. Monster idlers. Nice recessed bolts. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Easy peasy, boys and girls. So let's add the first piece, which is this little, now I've just noticed them. See those little tab things, part of the moulding process, I think. I believe you have to just snap them off. Yeah. There you go. Must be where the ejector pins come, because there's marks there. Just let me file that off and I'll be back. There you go, done that. Those 2 tabs have been snapped off. I mean, some people will probably file that smooth to within an inch of its life, but that bit is going to be facing down and is going to be facing towards the side of the tank, so it's never going to be seen. Anyway, let's get back to business. So we've got this big hub here that goes in the middle like that. Our wheel goes over the top. Like that. Something like that anyway. Not very well. Right, I need to investigate. Right, so sorry, that wasn't very clear on the instructions. See that big hole? That was where I was trying to fit this in. No, it doesn't go in that way. It goes round onto that side and it fits in there a treat. Not very clear on that instruction bit there. Doesn't really show it. Hey ho, it's all part of the fun. So let's get a bit of sticky stuff on that. So it's that bit. Like that. So that goes on there. Then that goes into there. Perfect. Like that. Then our little retaining pin goes in there like that. That's not very tight there. I don't know whether to glue that or not. That's not very tight at all. I'm wondering whether it meets the back of that, and that's what holds it in. Let's have a little look. No, that isn't what happens, because that's just coming right out now. So what I might do is, if I actually glue that long bit into there, that'll allow it to turn. Right, we'll do that. Just a few little dabs, just to hold that pin in, is all we want. And so it moves around like that. The pin's in, but it can still twist. Right, so you see the back of that, the locating slot, locating pin, so you can't put it in wrong. Let's get some glue around that. Slot that in. And there you have one finished idler wheel. And that can still turn. Jobs are good and right. So I've learnt a bit on that one, so I should be able to fly through the next one and we'll come back. So that's both idler wheels done. Yes, the other one took about a quarter of the time of the first one, because I knew the deal. I'd learned from mistakes. Right, so they're both ready to rock. Put those out of the way. Get the lower hole back into the picture. Let's get you out of the way a little bit. Right, so what happens is that's where they go, the idlers, right in that little spot there. So what I'm going to do is leave them loose. I'm not going to tighten them. I'm going to leave them loose. So you see that slot in the idler wheel? That will go either side of that tab in there. And what that will allow you to do is adjust the idler wheel, and I think that will allow you to adjust the track tension a little bit if you've got too much sag. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. That's going to stay on, no problem. Right, so if I stick the other side on, then we've almost got a complete rolling chassis. That's on. You can adjust that as you wish. I don't think that one's going to stay on as tight as the other one did. That's it. We've got return rollers on. we've got our, I assume those are bump stops to stop that going too high, that first one on that end and the first one on that end. And I believe that little thing on the back there is, as the track goes round, any loose track pins will catch on that, and because it's convexed, it will automatically push them in. I'm sure that's what that's for. Correct me if I'm wrong, but please do it politely. Don't tell me I'm a knob or a dick. If my idea or my thought of what that is for is wrong, then don't be afraid to tell me, but tell me nicely. Tell me politely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there, because I can hear my dogs downstairs are wandering backwards and forwards on the wooden floor downstairs, and I think they're about ready to go out for a walk. So I'll leave it there. We've done quite a bit so far. We have achieved. I'm pleased with that. Pleased with that. Starting to come together. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll put that on there. So what we've done is get you down a bit closer. Let's put you on wide angle. There you go. Right, so what we've done, finished all of step 3. That's all done, boys and girls. That whole thing is a tick. And we've done that little piece. We've done the back end of the sprocket. And we've put the 2 idler wheels together. Both sides of the sprockets are done and both idler wheels are done. And next on the agenda is to make the wheels. And what's after that, I hear you say? More wheels. 8, 8, 8, 8. If anyone knows anything about Tigers, you know there's plenty of wheels to go on it. Tracks. And etc, etc. So thanks for watching, all those that have watched. Thanks for the new subscribers. Thank you to the old subscribers. Everybody that watches, I appreciate it very much. Thank you. This is just a little side project for me, just to, I don't know, get out and communicate with people. Other than the people that I work with, basically, and to have a little bit of a chit chat and a little bit of fun. So take care, everybody, model on, and I'll see you next time.